And good Sunday morning to you. Welcome to Invest Northwest. I'm Sean Owsley. Well, the Eastern Washington University Board of Trustees named Dr. Mary Cullinan the 26th president of Eastern. That was effective on August 1st. And Dr. Cullinan has served as president of Southern Oregon University in Ashland, Oregon since 2006 and has brought her 34 years of extensive higher education experience now to the Cheney campus as president of the university. And Dr. Cullinan joins me on Invest Northwest this morning. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Sean.
It's good to have you and to introduce you to everybody out there. Welcome to the Inland Northwest.
Thank you. It's just an incredible thrill to be here, and Spokane and Cheney have been so welcoming and warm. It's really terrific.
Dr. Cullinan, if you can, when Eastern and the job at Eastern first came on your radar, walk us through that process for you.
Well, I had been friendly with President Arevalo for many years. We had actually kind of tracked our careers together. We had both been provosts in Texas at the same time, and then we both got our first presidency in the same year. And he came to Eastern, and I went to Southern Oregon, and so we saw each other periodically. And when I saw him last spring and he said he was going to retire, I said to him, "Wow, Rodolfo, I'd like your job." And somehow from that, it just really rolled out very quickly. So here I am, 90 days into the job.
I would imagine that would be hugely beneficial as you step in and take over the reins at Eastern, to talk to somebody that's been in the job, that knows the school, that knows the ins and outs. Did that help you kind of hit the ground running?
Absolutely, and because I knew Rodolfo for a number of years, I watched him as we were both going through the difficult years of the recession.
Sure.
And I watched what a really brilliant job he did to ensure that Eastern Washington University was fiscally sound and got through those very challenging years successfully. And so I also saw the kind of growth and the kind of excitement that surrounds this university. So I was really excited at this opportunity.
Well, it's good to hear your thoughts on leading up to getting the job. Then as you take over the reins, let's talk about the school overall. Compared to where you were, when you walk in, what strikes you, what stands out to you about Eastern?
Well, one thing is that this is a much larger university than Southern Oregon, and we are growing quite quickly. We have had 6 years of highest enrollments ever, and so we're now up almost to 13,500 students, which is terrific. And we also have tremendous growth both in Cheney and in Spokane. And the vision that has helped to create that university district in Spokane and to put together the kinds of really exciting programs that we are in partnership with the other universities there, I think just serves this region terrifically. So that was very exciting for me.
You mentioned the lean times and being the head of a university at that time. It is a different situation today. The climate has improved dramatically. In fact, you mentioned the enrollment, record enrollment, 13,453. That's it. All students taking classes at Eastern locations across the state. Talk about that enrollment number and how that stands out to you.
Well, for me, it shows that we are meeting needs. And I think we are very proud of serving Washingtonians. Really, the students that we serve come from Washington, and the vast majority of them are employed and stay in Washington. And that's part of our mission, is to serve the professional workforce and the economy of this state. And we are really being responsive to needs around the state, and of course here in Spokane, but also on the west side of the state. We are partnering with community colleges there, and really I was just back there last week meeting with the community colleges to see what programs can we bring to the west side that will meet their needs as well, and what's the role of technology, where should we be face-to-face. We're exploring all the creative options to help students.
I know there's some big things on the agenda going forward. We're going to touch on those in a second. You try, I would imagine, as president of a university, you try to make it a destination and make it stand out. It's, you know, competitive. People look at different schools and say, what's the right fit for me? As you have now been on the job a few months, I know it's early, but what do you see that stands out that maybe you can put your trademark on, your fingerprint on the university and improve something?
Well, I really want us to be nationally recognized as the university, the public university that really cracks the code for student success. That we reach out to families with kids very early on, 7th, 8th grade, help provide them pathways that will help them get to the university. Then we provide an incredibly challenging and rigorous but very supportive environment for a diverse student body. And we help them get graduated and get employed. And so I really want us to figure out every single way that we can best support that pattern that will help more and more Washingtonians have college degrees and be successful. And I'm delighted to meet so many Eagles, such as yourself.
Class of 92.
And see how well they have done in all the fields that they've entered into.
All right, let's talk about some of the things that you're embarking on. Specifically, talk about the Spokane, the University District there. Your role in that as Eastern is such an integral part of what is happening there, and it's been so vibrant, especially over the last several years.
Well, we've been offering classes in Spokane for a long time. In fact, I was at an award ceremony for faculty and staff yesterday who had worked at Eastern for 30 and 35 years, and some of them had worked in Spokane all that time. So we've been here for a long time. But to have the vision of this partnership on the University District campus, I think it's just fabulous. And we are really looking at the applied programming that has worked so well here in business, health science and public health, and all the partnerships that really help to support the economy in this region.
If you can, I know that your office sent over some information about some key things that you're looking at. One of them, taking over the Phase 1 building at River Point in the U District from WSU. Talk about that.
Well, to have our own building is really huge, and so I'm just delighted. We have a terrific partnership with WSU, and to be able to have our own building is really helpful as we work out the space needs for growing numbers of students. And I am really committed to being present there myself. I'm going to be there today. I'm really trying to be one day a week in Spokane to really show the commitment of the administration to support the programming there.
And there is a major a process going forward, too, that we have covered in the past here on Invest Northwest, and that's the new science building.
Yes.
Talk about that, why it's important, why you want to make that a priority.
Well, it's a huge priority for us. Probably a third of our students almost are in STEM fields, in science and technology, engineering and math. They need to have a strong science background, and of course most majors have some kind of science requirements. And we have the oldest science building in the state, and we really need a new science building, and so that's a top priority for the legislative session. And it was ranked #1 in the ranking that the state just did for capital projects. So I'm extremely excited by that.
So you're optimistic about that?
I am very optimistic. We have world-class faculty, we have tremendous science programs, and we need facilities that meet the quality of our faculty and our curriculum.
As the leader of Eastern, how do you balance the legislature obviously looking at areas to cut, and there have been some discussions about possibly cutting funding for higher education and moving that more towards the K through 12. What conversations are you expecting to have going forward, and how do you lobby for the science building when they're looking at that climate? Well,
I'm really talking to legislators about the educational continuum. It really has to be, you know, not just K through 12, but pre-K through university and beyond. It's cradle to career. And so, you know, the legislators really need to understand that students graduating from the 12th grade need places to go. And part of my vision for Eastern is that we're the best value in the state. We're the most affordable place. And so it's really important that we have the funding that enables us to keep tuition as low as possible. And then legislators are certainly interested in there being more graduates in STEM areas, and we're a huge provider. And so we need to meet those demands of employers around the state. We need to have the facilities that make that possible.
Your final thought as now you're on the job and your vision going forward?
Well, again, my vision is that we are nationally known for the kind of student success that really supports students from very early years through a career. And I'm also committed to community engagement. I want all of our students to have mentors and partners in the community, and to be thinking very intentionally about what they're going to do as engaged citizens and professional employees and employers in the state of Washington.
All right, Dr. Mary Cullinan, we are out of time, but it is so great to meet you and let everybody out there meet you for the first time, and good luck at Eastern.
Thank you. It's wonderful to be here. Go Eagles.
Go Eagles. All right. Thank you. Pleasure to meet you.
Thank you.